I'm at a market and I'm having porchetta. Delicious. Good morning, we are at the Mercato Trionfale, one of the oldest and largest indoor markets in the city of Rome. And you can see all sorts of produce being sold here, fresh produce, the vegetables, the fruits. They are just so nice looking and so vibrant in colors. They have also got butchers here, people selling cured meats, cheese, even bakers. It's basically the market for the locals. This is where the locals come and grab their fresh produce, their local produce. And we were told that when we're in this market, you gotta look for this Italian roast pork. It's called the porchetta.
Allora la buccia?
Sì, mio padre.
Ti fa un po' di questo. Va buono? Va bene? Poi?
Guys, we just passed by this stall, stall 102. The name of the stall is called La Porchetta di Ariccia. Yes, I got it right, okay. And a very nice local Roman man told us that you must try the porchetta from this stall because it is the best in this market. And he also told us to try a traditional Roman pizza, which is the pizza rosa, I believe it's just tomato. Anyway, I've got right here, the porchetta is packed in a box, we purchased it. Let's quickly open it up. The fragrance is just insane, the smell of the rosemary and that salt. Okay, I can't wait to try. I'm going to grab a little bit of skin with that pork. Oh, look at how tender it is. Using a plastic fork, it just goes right through. Beautifully salty, tender meat. It's got a nice juiciness, but still with some bite and firmness. It's sort of like a soft ham. But the flavors, especially from the skin, the saltiness, it just hits your mouth. It's really like our roast pork, our siyok in Malaysia, but it's got a crunchy skin instead of our siyok, sort of like crispy skin. That's the only difference. It's got a little bit of that bite to it, a little bit like a leather, but the fragrance is so good. The smell, the fragrance, and the skin, the oil fragrance, the skin is the key here. The salt basically pulls out the natural flavor of the pork and it makes it very umami. Rosemary is just there for the fragrance. And if you look at these parts here, these are the more tender parts of the meat. You've got some fat, you've got the skin. The skin is super important. In fact, I think they gave us too little skin. I would have liked more, but absolutely delicious. Next up, the pizza rosa, which is basically a very traditional classic Roman pizza. It's just pizza dough with tomato. Oh, I could smell the fragrance, like a mild fragrance of the tomatoes. Okay, can't wait to try this. You can see there are a little bit of charred spots here as well. Okay, first off, the texture is chewy, not exactly crispy. I think because it's been left out for a long time, like really long, it's just sitting there. But the flavors, it's beautiful. You could taste the tomatoes. They have been sort of like cooked down, so you get the flavor, the really nice tang and inherent sweetness in the tomato itself. Texture is absolutely not the best, a little bit rubbery even, but the flavors are very intoxicating. I'm going to try the end here. Hopefully the crust has that nice crunch. Crunchy. The crust is crunchy. Hear that? Beautiful toasty flavor, bitterness. The crust is really nice. The flavor is really so simple, so delicious, beautifully balanced. Yeah, try these guys. Just remember the texture is not the best, but the flavor is, despite simple, delicious. Alright, we're done with a beautiful, simple pizza and a nice porchetta. Let's head to another spot for more pizza. We're probably at one of the most famous pizza place in Rome. It's called the Pizzarium and it's owned by Chef Gabriele Bonci. a very well-known and famous pizza chef in Rome, and I guess Italy as well. And he's known as the man who revolutionized traditional Roman pizza. Long ago, Roman pizza was sort of like, you know, the people's food. So they used really low quality ingredients to make the pizza. It's sort of like a grab and go scenario. And what the chef did was he made it with fresh ingredients, very good ingredients, and a very special type of dough. So his pizzas maintain this very nice crisp and crunchiness, and the ingredients up top are fresh and they provide their natural flavors. And the pizza that we are having today are called pizza al taglio, which is basically pizza by the slice. So what you'll notice is they come out in these long rectangular shaped pans, and as you order from them, they will cut it up with scissors and you get whatever size you want, and they go by weight. So the game plan here is you gotta pick up a ticket right in front, and then you wait for your number to be called, go to the front of the counter, order the pizza of your choice, they cut it up, put it on the weighing scale, and you pay by weight. And then you wait for maybe a couple of minutes for them to heat up the pizza for you, and you're ready to go. We have actually been here yesterday, so we've sort of done some homework. This place is pretty decent. Yep, making up for the previous episode. We might have ordered a little bit too much. We got 3 variants. One is the classic, the one that people like the most, a potato with, I'm guessing, mozzarella cheese. The other we got is a potato with sausage. And the last one is recommended by the staff, is scrambled eggs and ham. So let's quickly start with the original one first, which is piping hot. And it's huge. Okay, look at this, let's go. Crust underneath is crispy. Potato is very generous in amount. You could taste the natural flavor, the potatoiness of the potato. You could definitely taste, I believe it is mozzarella cheese. Compared to the ones that we got yesterday, this is actually quite good. This has got that body in it. The potato is just layered thickly on the crust, and the crust has a nice crunch. You could even taste the toastiness in the crust. The key point lies in the potato, really. It's so generous, but it doesn't take away the texture and the flavor of the crust. It's a little bit salty, the crust. Oh look guys, I even found like probably a jam here. Is this a piece of like a bacon or a ham? I think it's a back bacon. It gives a nice salty umami, but it seems scarce. There's only one piece in the whole slice of potato pizza. This is good. It is very starchy though, very carb heavy. So it might bog you down. I would suggest get this slice, share among your friends. But the flavors are delicious. It's very simple, very delicious. Okay, let's quickly move on to the next pizza. The ham with scrambled eggs. Just look at how runny the scrambled eggs is. Beautiful. And look at these charred spots. And I don't know what these are. They are like leaves with a little bit of sort of like moldy looking. Let's go. I love this. Oh, look at this crust. Beautiful. The ham is salty, creamy, scrambled eggs. I don't know, that tastes like mint with a little bit of pickle flavor to it. So that really elevates that flavor, gives it a really herbaceous lift. The eggs, they're just there for the creaminess. The base is so crusty. This is again a very good recommendation. This is good. Oh, the experience is way better than what we had yesterday. Street food done right. Really good crust, toasty, a little bit of charred bitterness. I could taste some mayo too. Good, very good pizza. The stark contrast again to what we had yesterday. Yesterday was decent, which is why at the beginning I said that it was a decent spot. You just gotta pick the right flavors. This is a good one. Okay, I'm gonna pass the last slice of pizza to fried potato with sausages.
Again, there's a potato pizza flavor with a sausage. So actually, this is the improved version of the potato pizza. Yeah. If you want salty flavor, so you will pick this with sausage. If you prefer the sweetness from potato, so you take the original one.
Alright guys, we're gonna finish up the pizzas. There's another production team, I think it's like a documentary team. They came in with a huge video cam and it hurts my ego. So we're gonna take our tiny camera and scoot. Alright, we are finally away from the huge camera crew. And our tiny camera is finally king again! Yay! Anyway, we're going to have some more street food. This thing called supli. Yep, the one that we had last week at Arcangelo. We're going to another spot to try it out. And let's see if that is better. We are at Panificio, which is a bakery that is also owned by Chef Bonci. They also serve pizza here, but along with other baked goods like breads and some sort of pastries and even dry goods and tomato sauce and so on, a lot of miscellaneous stuff. And we are here mainly for their supli, which is a Roman fried rice ball, something like an arancini, but a little bit different. This is made with arborio rice, which is risotto rice, mixed with tomato sauce, and in the middle is this melty, stringy mozzarella cheese. So as you break open that supli, it's supposed to have this long line of cheese pool, which is why it's also known as supli alla telefono, I believe. Actually, on the other side, at the Pizzarium by Bonci, they also sell supli, but we decided we want to drop by at this bakery to try out their supli. I think it's the same. They also have another variant called the spaghettino. Also like a rice ball, but inside, instead of having rice, they have spaghetti. Okay, the supli is here. I don't know which is which. One is a smaller version and one is a bigger one. I'm gonna guess the bigger one is spaghettino because it's the larger noodle. So let me try the spaghetti one first. It looks really... ooh, it's quite hot. So this is really crispy, it's freshly made. And just look at the crunch. I'm gonna pull this open to see what it is first. Oh, look at this, beautiful. Look at the spaghetti. Oh, and the mozzarella cheese. Okay, I'm gonna do a pull right here. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, look at the steam. Very simple flavors. You could taste the tang from the tomato and the cheese pool is still there. Let me just get rid of it. It's never ending. Alright. The spaghetti within obviously is not going to be al dente, it's soft. But it does give you a nice texture. It's not exactly mushy, it's not mushy. And the crust is crunchy. It's got a little bit of fragrance, not much. The mainstay here is the tang from the tomato sauce, the little bit of bite texture from the spaghetti, and the mozzarella cheese. The cheese pool gets to me every time. Really simple flavors, but oddly satisfying at the same time. The mozzarella cheese flavor is there. It's not too strong. Everything gels well together. I quite like this. I know I'm a simpleton, but yeah, I like this.
Let's try the classic supli. Look at the telephone line cheese. It's non-stop. Okay, let's try this. I would prefer this compared with the spaghetti one. This tastes more tomato-y compared with the cheese. The tomato flavor is more present and the outside is crunchy, crispy. The rice inside still have that snap texture in the middle of the rice.
Guys, we're mopping this up. We're actually at this sort of like I'll call it a secret spot where you have a table and you have chairs to sit to eat the bakery stuff. It's actually located like right next door in this sort of like dim lit small little room, or rather a hole in the wall. So yeah, next time if you're here, remember to find this spot so you can sit down and enjoy your suplis or your pizzas. Yep. Since today is a good day, we're sort of hit a mark on all the food that we've tried. Let's go the whole stretch and try some gelato. I'm going to bring you to a spot that we're trying the first day and I think it's really quite good. Let's hit there. Got on my feet again. Transition time. Just watching my feet again. Transition is almost ending. There we are. Gelateria dei Gracchi. Guys, this is the spot that we've been talking about. They are established in 1999, I think, and it's this really small one-shop shop, and they serve all sorts of gelato. You could tell that the gelato is basically natural because of the color. they don't have that coloring. It's not bright looking. The pistachios look like pistachio, the coffee looks like coffee, lemon looks like lemon, and so on and so forth. So wait for us a bit. We'll go and buy and we'll see you at the opposite side of the street. If not, our gelato is going to melt even quicker because the sun is really hot right now. Okay guys, we've got here pistachio, a lot of coffee flavor, and on top is whipped cream. The classic from them, the signature is pistachio because it's made from, I think it's called Bronte pistachio, which is from Sicily. It's called the green gold. So it's this really nice classic flavor that is used to make ice cream. It gives it a sweet and salty flavor. So let's quickly dive in because it's melting. Yeah. I think so far the best gelato lah. For pistachio, it's so well balanced. You could taste the flavor of the pistachio and there are pistachio bits inside as well, but it's not overpowering. It's sweet, but not overly sweet. And it's got a little bit of that savory, salty flavor, very mild. And the mouthfeel, this is what makes gelato different from the rest of ice cream because it's slowly churned and it has less fat content, so it gives it a more dense and richer texture in your mouth. It feels more rounded. And the coffee, pure, very pure tasting coffee. Beautiful bitterness. It's soothing, it's bitter, it's really just like coffee. You turn coffee into gelato. Really nice, a little bit of milkiness in the coffee. Way better than what we had last week. And even the other spots, it beats the other spots. It blows the rest of the people out of the water. Absolutely delicious. A bit of the whipped cream. It's just whipped cream, delicious. Pairs well with the rest of the flavors. I just get the pistachio and chocolate. Pistachio and coffee. And we learned this from Bashir in our Paris episode. It works, pistachio with coffee. I'm going to try to bite into this cone to see if it's still crispy. I'll be surprised if it still is. Let's go. Hear that? Crispy. Best gelato so far. I know we've only been here for a couple of days, but this is really good. Highly recommended. Okay, I'm going to let Claire have the rest of this because she's salivating. This is very good. Let's grab this, man. Alright, let's talk about the first spot, the porchetta from stall number 102 in Mercato Trionfale. Very nice porchetta, very fragrant piece of roast pork, crunchy skin on the surface with a chew underneath, and that oil fragrance is just insane.
And the meat flavor releasing every time you chew.
Yeah, correct. You get to taste the rosemary, the salt,
the pepper.
Yeah, so overall it was a really nice experience. I think it's absolutely something that you must try if you're in Rome. I think the pizza rosa is also a very interesting pizza. The texture is definitely not great, I'll be honest. It's been lying there for a while. So it's very chewy, rubbery even. But the flavors are so simple and the tomato is just good quality. You can really tell it's tangy, it's inherently sweet.
Yep.
It's a very addictive, like simple piece of pizza. And with that being said, stall 102 scores a half a plate on the gourmet plate, which means it is some high quality porchetta and pretty good pizza rosa right there. Absolutely recommended. If you're in Rome, visit the market. It's a huge market. Okay, on to the next spot, Bonci. Alright, Bonci started off not very well, to be honest. When we visited yesterday, it was a decent spot, but it was not as good as today. I think there are probably some consistency issues. Yeah, yesterday it was not that crispy lah.
Yeah, and also maybe the flavor combination.
I think you gotta pick the right flavors. So today the flavors that we tried, I think is pretty good.
Yeah.
The potato flavor is really nice, potato with mozzarella cheese. But do bear in mind it's very carb heavy. If you don't like heavy volume pizzas, then it might feel a tad too heavy for you. The flavor isn't heavy though. It's a very nice light flavor, which is why the dough fragrance pulls through with the potato sweetness. I think the ham and scrambled eggs are really nice as well. You could taste, I believe it is mint. It's originally fresh and then when they baked it, it became sort of like, I don't know why, it turned a little bit tangy as well. It was a very nice flavor. Yeah, it lightens the pizza up. And the other one, the potato with sausage is also pretty good. If you like a more savory, more salty flavor, definitely pick that over the generous potato and mozzarella cheese. I think one of the key points for Bonci's Pizzarium is you gotta set your expectations right. It's not a gourmet pizza, it's not a pizzeria where you sit down and have a piece of pizza. It's an al taglio, which means it's a street style pizza. It's a street food pizza. You roll by the slice. So you need to understand that it's not going to blow your mind. Simple ingredients but very good ingredients. So when your combination is right, and if they are on form that day, which means the base of the dough is crispy, the dough fragrance is strong enough, then yes, you've got yourself an amazing piece of street food pizza. Yeah. And with that being said, Bunchy Pizzarium scores a half a plate on the gourmet plate.
Which means it's high quality pizza right there.
Yeah, specifically street food style pizza. So you just gotta bear in mind that it could be inconsistent at times. Alright, the next spot again is Bunchy, their bakery. We did try their pizza yesterday. It was sort of similar, it was decent, it wasn't exactly very crispy. I think it's an inconsistency issue. With the supli, I think it's pretty decent. Ultimately, it's a very street food, probably nostalgia tasting dish. The ingredients are definitely fresh. Personally, I think we both prefer the supli, the rice supli, classic supli, because the rice still has a bite to it. It's sort of al dente. I was quite surprised, to be honest. Yeah, and the mozzarella has a beautiful pull. Significantly better than the previous episode, let's put it that way. So just basing on their supli, I would say they score an okay on the gourmet plate, which means it's some good quality supli right there. It's absolutely street food, but something that you should try if you are there. Yeah, I think it's quite a nice experience. Final spot, Gelato di Gracchi. Absolutely the best gelato that we have had so far lah.
And actually today is our second visit.
Yeah, that's true. Both experiences are very good. On the first visit, we tried their dark chocolate orange. That was really good. Really rounded, rich flavor, while not being overly heavy. And the pistachio, I think, is a must order. It's the most natural tasting pistachio ice cream that we have had. Even better than the ones in Paris. I know we have only been here for a few days, but we've tried other quite popular ones as well. One of it is, I think, one of the oldest, Gelateria. This spot, personally for us, is better. The flavors are just more natural. The texture is really nice, very rich mouthfeel, very smooth, not heavy and not too sweet. I think the key point is not too sweet. After you finish a whole gelato, you don't feel bogged down. You don't feel thirsty.
Or heavy.
You feel sort of refreshed. That's the key point. It's something very similar to Bashir, right? Yeah, Bashir in Paris. But it's a different ice cream, I understand that. Yeah. And with that being said, this spot also scores a half a plate on the gourmet plate, which means it is some high quality gelato right there.
The must try are pistachio, dark chocolate orange, and coffee.
All are very, very good. So there you go. I think this is sort of like the redemption episode. I'm really excited because all the food, they're pretty good, pretty delicious. Next week, we're actually heading somewhere else. We are going down south to Sicily because there's this spot that I absolutely must visit due to a program that is shown on Netflix. So yeah, next week's episode will be our travel from Rome down to Sicily, or more specifically Noto. So stay tuned. Hope you enjoyed this food vlog. If you did, do consider giving us a thumbs up. If you're yet to subscribe, do consider subscribing and hit that notification bell button. Till we eat again next week in Rome and Noto. Bye bye.